You're watching Alabama's WVUA News at 10.
Tonight on the News at 10, reaction from the Southern Christian Leadership Conference to a state senator's remarks about black customers at Green Track. And the main suspect in Natalie Holloway's disappearance case is soon going to be a father. Hello everyone, I'm Claire Huddleston. Thanks for joining us tonight. Tensions are running high in Greene County after a state senator called Green Track customers a name some people might find offensive. During an FBI recorded phone conversation, Republican State Senator Scott Beeson called black customers at Green Track Aborigines. WVUA's Jennifer Edwards has reaction from Greene County.
And any derogatory statement that is made is demeaning. Its attempt is to destroy, to take away the self-worth of a person. And we stand here today and say that we don't need validation from Scott. God gave that to us.
This is the response of Southern Christian Leadership Conference President Spiver Gordon to Republican State Senator Scott Beeson's name-calling. The SCLC had a news conference at the Greene County Courthouse to share their disgust about Beeson's comments. One Greene County teacher who's teaching his students about Aborigines even weighed in on the issue.
Well, I feel like our Congress people should be on serious stuff, having serious discussions. They own the pay clock, they're getting paid. And while they're getting my tax dollars, they're in a conversation with other people talking about us.
Officials at the press conference emphasized they're not attacking the Republican Party, just Beeson.
I don't believe that this shameful act is supported by the leadership of the Republican Party. This is one man's statement to someone else, and it's an outrageous statement.
We need somebody to put somebody that's going to try to help us up the hill. They don't throw us back down the hill after we done got up on top of the hill.
Citizens of Greene County are now just waiting to see if justice will be served. In Greene County, Jennifer Edwards, WVUA News.
The state Republican Party is defending Beeson. Chairman Bill Armistead says Beeson is one of the most honorable people he knows, and Beeson does not have a racist bone in his body. Armistead says people should listen to the evidence presented in the trial and not try to mix it with politics. Beeson was back on the stand today in Alabama's gambling corruption trial. He told the court he did not know why he referred to black customers of a casino as Aborigines. Beeson said that's not part of his normal vocabulary. After Beeson's testimony, prosecutors called Republican Representative Barry Mask of Wetumpka to the witness stand. Mask is one of 3 GOP legislators who wore recording devices for the FBI during its investigation. 9 people are accused of buying and selling votes on pro-gambling legislation. The Partlow Developmental Center in Tuscaloosa will close on or before November 30th. Governor Robert Bentley had originally set the closing date for September, but delayed it so he could observe Partlow and the community-based facilities the residents would move to. Alabama is in the process of moving mentally disabled patients from large institutions to group homes and assisted living facilities. Partlow is Alabama's last large institution for mentally disabled people. As we told you last night on the News at 10, a Shelton State student has fallen to his death during a rock climbing trip in Virginia. Tonight, friends in Tuscaloosa are remembering the life of Jonathan Sully Sullivan. WVUA's Lindsay Price has more.
20-year-old Jonathan Sullivan was killed Wednesday on a rock climbing trip in Virginia. His friends in Tuscaloosa say they are shocked and sad.
He was supposed to be back. And it's just like he never came back. It's like you're still waiting on him. Just still expecting him to walk through the door into the apartment. And I said, I know it's going to be okay. Because he's up in the pearly gates with them 2 elephants. And he made the team.
Nick Parton and Austin O'Connor say now all they have are the memories of Sullivan.
We were going to be good friends. What we didn't realize over the next few months, we were going to become family. We become brothers. And just, this guy was just such a passionate friend and emotional with everything he did. If you just hung out with him for a couple of days, he was already trying to make that connection with you, just so you knew he was going to be that good friend to everybody. He wanted to play Alabama football. And I wanted to tag along.
Kristen Stevens says Sullivan was the kind of person who always loved to entertain his friends.
He can't be replaced with anybody. He is a wonderful guy. He loved to sing. We sang all night a week ago yesterday.
Sullivan's friends say even though he's gone, his music lives on and brings them some comfort.
You need to be back in my life, you see. 'Cause when you're away, my heart will.
In Tuscaloosa, Lindsay Price, WVUA News.
Sullivan's friends say his equipment failed, which caused him to fall to his death. The National Park Service is investigating the incident. In light of the climbing death in Virginia, some people may be asking, is climbing safe? Lance Haney is the program coordinator for outdoor recreation at the University of Alabama. Haney says you should never climb beyond your limits. Always use safety gear. Learn how to properly climb from an expert. Always climb with climbers you know well, and be sure to check all equipment regularly.
It's always best just to check, double check, and even triple check the anchors and the different setups that you use, your equipment, checking it before and after a trip. And that's just a practice that we do here, is being as safe as possible so that we can have as much fun as possible.
For more information about climbing safety, go to our website, WVUATV.com, and click numbers and links. Look for UA Outdoor Recreation under the sports section. An Alabama man died by lethal injection tonight for the death of a Tuscaloosa County woman. 41-year-old Eddie Duvall Powell raped, robbed, and killed 70-year-old Maddie Wesson at her Holt home in 1995. Powell had 2 appeals to stop his execution, one because he's mentally challenged and another for the type of drugs used in lethal injections. The Alabama Supreme Court denied both appeals. Powell spent most of his last day with his family and friends in a visitation hall at Holman Prison in Atmore. Time is running out for Alabama tornado survivors to apply for federal disaster assistance. Monday, June 27th is the deadline to register with FEMA and submit your Small Business Administration disaster loan application. To apply, call FEMA at 1-800-621-FEMA. That's 1-800-621-3362. Tornado cleanup continued in Tuscaloosa today. Demolition crews have knocked down walls at Rosedale Courts on 10th Avenue. Across the street, they're hauling off debris from homes destroyed in the April tornadoes. Volunteers from across the country are still pouring into Tuscaloosa to help people still suffering from April's storms. The founder of Project Connect, Greg Potter, is traveling the world for a year. He arrived in Tuscaloosa a week and a half ago. Today, Potter and 2 other volunteers were at Central Church of Christ off Hargrove Road. Potter says he's working with residents who still need help and don't know where to go for assistance.
We still meet people that still have injuries that have not been attended to and they're not sure where to go to. We see people that are going through the different steps with FEMA and they need just a little more guidance.
So far, Potter has worked with AmeriCorps, the Soma Church in Holt, and the Salvation Army. He plans to stay in Tuscaloosa until the end of the month. The World Changers Mission Group has been in Tuscaloosa this week helping storm survivors. During that time, they've helped dozens of people, but organizers say one family in particular touched their hearts. The team told us they met a family who had been living in a bowling alley since the April tornado. The missionaries gave the family a donated air mattress, diapers, and other supplies. World Changer member Chelsea Burnett says it was an emotional experience.
And she just said they were sleeping on a bowling alley, and she told all of us, and I could see the sadness in their faces. And then when they got the stuff, they were just so happy to be getting something they could actually sleep on and enjoy, so they didn't have to be in the back of the bowling alley.
There are close to 200 World Changers in Tuscaloosa. They'll be here until Sunday. Health experts are encouraging tornado cleanup volunteers to be extra careful in this heat. A DCH spokesperson says last month they had 23 patients with heat-related injuries or illnesses. Last year that number was 7. Out of the 23 people, 17 were treated in the emergency room, 6 were admitted to the hospital. There doesn't appear to be much relief in sight from all this hot weather. Here's Daniel Sparkman with a first look at Alabama's home team forecast.
That's right, Claire. We just haven't had much rainfall to keep those temperatures from getting into the upper 90s. In fact, 98, the high temperature today. But we do finally have some rain on Home Team Interactive radar. Closer look at Tuscaloosa. You could see some rain showers actually in Tuscaloosa County. We had lots of rain across parts of West Alabama today, a little bit left down in Marengo County. I will actually give you some of those rain totals coming up here in just a couple of minutes in Maine weather. Claire?
Thanks, Daniel. New census figures show Alabama's Hispanic population jumped 145% in the last decade. According to the 2010 census, there are 185,600 Hispanics living in Alabama. That's 4% of Alabama's total population, which is 4.8 million. Franklin County in North Alabama has the state's largest Hispanic population at 15%, followed by DeKalb County at 13.6% and Marshall County with 12%. Experts say they're unsure how the state's new immigration laws will affect immigrants living in Alabama. Some church groups are speaking out against Alabama's new immigration law, which you see Governor Bentley signing right here. They say it violates Christian principles. Leaders of the United Methodist Church, the Episcopal Church, the Lutheran Church, and the Roman Catholic Church have all criticized the law. They believe it goes against the Bible, which teaches about loving others. The state's largest denomination, the Alabama Baptist Convention, hasn't taken a position publicly, but it has expressed concern about the new law.